Hey everyone, this is the video for lesson 3, part 2. So let me bring this in so that you all can see. We will be using aluminum 1060. This will be in inches. We have our isometric view, our top view, the front view, and our right side view. And as you can see, the front view gives us the most information about this part. So that is the face that we will be creating first. Note that I have a center point circle. I have an offset. This offset is a 1/2 inch there, and it's a 1/2 inch there. So the offset is for these lines and for this circle. And we know that it's an offset because we're only given one dimension for the circle or the half circle. So we will do that. I'm only going to sketch 1/2 of these lines, and then I will mirror those after I create my offset and connect those lines together. After that, I will sketch my top view, and I will create these 2 circles, and I will remove the material as we have here. And we are also using our boss tool, the boss fillet again. We have 1, 2, fillet here, that's 3 and 4. And if we look at our right side view, we have a fillet at these corners. So we have a total of 8 fillets. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 and 8. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our front view. And again, I am going to make my circle. And let's see, what else will I do? I guess I'm going to make some construction lines, horizontal and vertical. All right, and then from here, I will sketch out my lines. And I think that's all I need for now. Okay, I am going to actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and sketch that line out. I know that I'm going to have an offset right there. So let me put in my dimensions. I know that that's going to be a 1/2 inch. Um, and then this will be 2.76. And I will put in my offset really quickly. So when I do my offset, it will not let me offset my circle and my lines at the same time. So I'm going to do one at a time. So I will offset my circle first. The default you see is 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to make that a 1/2 inch. Okay. And then I will remove that so you can see it. I will offset this line and then that line. And make sure your offset is going in the correct direction. And this is the direction that we want. Okay, so after I get that offset, I have my 2 offsets. So now what I want to do is I want to dimension from this line. And remember how we did that dimension all the way over. And that's going to be 8.75 inches. And then we are going to go this right here. This will be 1.25 inch. And I want to make sure that those 2 points are coincident. Oh, we don't like that. And so let's see, I'm going to delete that line and I am going to, can I move that up? Okay, yes. So I'm going to make another line right there. Let me connect those. And then let me make sure that that line is going to be horizontal. Everything should be black at this point. So I'm going to select those lines and then I'm going to use my mirror tool and note that everything is black at this point. Let's go ahead and remove those lines that we don't need or those items that we don't need by using our trim tool. So we don't need those two lines right there. We don't need the bottom parts of these circles. And that looks about right. So let's put this in isometric view. I am going to make this a symmetric extrusion. I know in class we didn't do symmetric, but in the video, I want symmetric. And let me move that up some. I'm just cleaning this up a little bit. All right, so extrude, make sure it is symmetric. This is going to be a 3-inch symmetric extrusion. Okay, and there is where I'm going to put my circle on that face. So sketch and view normal to. Let's zoom to fit, zoom out just a little bit. Put my circle there. Let's see. I am going to put some reference lines and let's put in some dimensions. Actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and mirror my circle first. And now let's put in some dimensions. So my circles will be 3/4 of an inch in diameter, and they will be 6 inches apart from each other. And I'm going to make those 2 points um, horizontal, and everything is black at this point. So we can select the interior of our circles, put in an isometric view, and we are going to extrude remove. I'm not going to put in a dimension for that. Our default is 1 inch. I know that I have less material than that, so I'm going to keep the default. And I have my material removed. So if I rotate, you can see that the material is removed. Okay, back in isometric view. Remember for our boss fillets, let's use our boss fillet tool. And we are going to select those entities. And you see we get a preview. Select those entities where we want that fillet. And make sure you are choosing the correct entity. Notice that I have those two edges and not that edge. Okay, we don't want that edge. We want those two edges, that edge and that edge. And our fillet will be 0.375. And I believe that is all. Okay, so if we look at our right side view, that looks correct. All right, and let's see. Let's put this back in isometric view. I am going to right-click and assign material. And we want aluminum 1060. Okay, and let's get our mass properties. I think in class our mass properties were slightly different. And I think because I changed the dimensions slightly, but this is correct. Let's show our dimensions. This is how I want you to turn this assignment in. So I do have some blue there, but that's only for those points. Everything else should be black. All right, um, so dimensions, again, this is how everything should be turned in. And if there are any questions, please let me know.